2, 1.
And good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are in podcast land. Brendan Cunningham, the EXP doctor himself, welcoming you to the real story from the Real Realtors. That's Matt Paul.
How you doing?
This guy does it all. But dropping in from the sky today, we have Michael Anderson from MJ Capital Resources, and he's going to talk about commercial lending. Wow. You haven't had any commercial lenders.
We have not had a commercial lender on yet.
You know what? It's about time.
Thank you, Mike.
Very different arena than residential. So, Michael, how long have you been doing this?
So I've owned my business, which is a lending brokerage, for a little over 3 years. I've been in banking and real estate for over 12
years, like that.
not a crazy amount of time. I'm not that old, so.
Oh, like you making fun of me here?
So, but total probably experience about 12 to 15 years, give or take.
Local guy, Western New York.
Yeah.
Most of your business, I presume, is Western New York.
Yeah. So born and raised in Buffalo, 42 years. Probably 95% of my business is in the Western New York area. But I actually do it all over the country. So I have deals in South Carolina, I have deals in Florida, Arizona.
Are you working with people from here that choose to buy businesses or grow and expand, or are you dealing with people that come to you and find you nationally?
So it's mostly from referrals here. And then I get out to Arizona a lot. So naturally from there, and most of my customers are investors. So it's a much easier connection, especially Florida.
Yeah.
There's obviously a lot of people from Buffalo.
Yeah, down there, snowbirds. And,
purchasing there.
Yeah, and investors are different. I don't want to say different kinds of animals, but they're different from residential buyers. I mean, a residential buyer, typically, they're looking for a place to live. They want the feeling of the place, and they want to imagine how their kids are going to relate to the other kids.
It's a lot more emotional.
It's
too.
emotional.
Yeah. Yep.
Investors, what are the numbers?
Yeah.
Do the numbers work? That's it. Get out of my face.
Yeah.
Fair?
Yeah, I mean, some of them are maybe emotional.
Well, I think everyone gets a little goofy, and everyone has buyer's remorse. Everyone has buyer's remorse in the transaction, whether the buyer is always. That's a given. But yeah, it's a different kind of
it is
it's just different, and the transactions take longer.
Yeah, commercial definitely takes longer. Typically, there are routes where DSC, commercial DSCR can be quicker if it's a bridge loan for rehab.
But now we're going to avoid those abbreviations because our listeners out there get mental like I do. And say, so DSR, just so that if they may not be familiar with these subtle terms, don't stop. What does that mean?
It's a debt service coverage ratio. So they just look at the debt service.
You knew that, though, right?
Yeah. Limited underwriting, easier. The cash flow requirements are lower. It's just an easier, and at least right now, the nice thing about them too is their rates are similar in most cases to traditional market rates. So a lot of lenders a lot of investors like them because it moves quicker. They don't have to provide as much because investors just want to move. They just want to get the deal done. They don't want to provide all their financials, or as we know, the financials, lots of write-offs.
Yes, yep.
Lots of qualified write-offs.
Well, they want their money working for them.
So
right?
It's just easier, and it's been a really good route for investors to go, especially if you have a good DSCR lender. And a huge thing with the DSCR lenders, and I guess it's any lender, but those lenders in particular, there's hundreds of them, but it's hard to find good ones. And one that's good next month may be absolutely awful.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where kind of moving in that space and knowing who you're working with, it's not always going to be the same ones where, you went to one and may have gone great, but they can just suck for whatever reason. But I guess that's lenders in general. They change quickly, especially on commercial.
Yeah. Well, the regulations, everything.
So now we've had other lenders and they've talked about portfolio loans. I presume this is sort of most of the loans are portfolio loans or private held. How does that work with commercial lending?
We do have portfolio loans where everything's kind of combined into one. Doing a lot of that on a refinance. So we do have that option. I have that option for second liens as well. So I've done portfolio loans as a second lien, even though the lender doesn't have the first lien,
Oh,
either as a line or as a loan. So that is an option. And then, it just depends on the investor. And that's why I like investors, because there's so many. Some investors like just buying doubles. Some love purchasing larger unit properties. Some like cash flow versus appreciation, or vice versa. Some are good with lower cash flow because it's in a nice area.
mm-hmm.
So I work with them too to determine, one, and based on what their needs are, is it actually a good buy, and will it actually qualify for the lender?
Okay. Do you do any, like, how we talk about pre-approvals? You need the boarding pass to
sure.
get on the plane.
Yeah.
I know, I know this answer, but in the
For our listeners,
in the commercial world, if somebody was to go in and buy say it was just a regular investor that had doubles and triples, nothing in the commercial world, they went in and they saw a 3-unit with a commercial space, and they say, I want to buy it. How do I get a pre-approval for this?
Yeah, so typically they're not required. I mean, it's sometimes maybe proof of funds, but I know in some cases, especially because a lot of the realtors are doing both.
Yep.
So they're used to that. So it is often where they'll say, hey, can you do a pre-approval? But it doesn't work the same way where you're just qualified up to X amount, because you could look at one $500,000 property, be able to get it, another $500,000 property not, because of either cash flow, maintenance required, location,
income coming in.
So it's really based on the location. But I'll do initial underwriting and be able to put something together that will satisfy a lender. But it's not a typical thing, because also lenders will, if it's at least a semi-underwritten term sheet. You could get a term sheet, but a semi-underwritten term sheet isn't immediate like it is in residential. Like you could go and get a pre-qualification on residential today, where commercial, if there's any underwriting done, it's going to take sometimes. Although surprisingly, I did get a day turnaround on a term sheet recently, but I know the banker really well, and I know she's good, so that's not typical.
So the pre-approvals, which are an integral part of residential sales.
Yes.
I mean, and I talk about it. We all talk about it. This is your boarding pass.
This is your boarding
You
pass.
be the nicest looking guy in the world. You're not getting near that property without your boarding pass, right?
Correct. Yep.
And they expect to have it up front. Yours are property specific, and not.
They're called term sheets more than
And they're not as integral a part of the transaction. But it's always nice to talk to the lender early in the game.
Absolutely.
So that's fair.
And if it takes long to get a term sheet or that sort of thing, based on some initial underwriting, I'm able to put something together to provide to the,
whether it's a
the
letter
agent,
or something.
or if the selling agent is requiring something.
Okay.
There's some verifications I'm able to do in advance if it's required.
Yep. And if you're going into the commercial, back on, should we just start talking and I'll edit it?
Okay. Ready? Are we rolling?
Yeah.
Term sheet. Okay, so let's call. Now we got a term. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's a good reason for somebody to go to you as opposed to Sid Gluck Commercial Lending?
So me,
Sid's awesome.
He's an out-of-towner.
Just me simply as a broker, I just have multiple options. I'm working for you to find the best option, mitigate risks, knowing where to go. So I have local lenders I work with. I know what the local lenders are doing. And as now in the market that we're in, lenders are changing what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Rapidly. One lender stops lending, multiple lenders stop lending.
It really is amazing how quickly these guys change.
They change up quickly. Their rates change. Things change really quickly. What they're willing.
Their loan officers
To
change.
do. So I know that, and I have highly established relationships with many of them. So I know what direction to go in. But I have national lenders, specialized lenders, DSCR lenders, private lenders. So I just have the options, and I know the direction to go in. I'm not getting paid more what direction I go.
Yeah, no.
So it's literally for your best interest. Now, me, also specifically, I've been in banking for a long time and how I developed those relationships, and on top of just networking a lot. So I have really great relationships with the lenders that I work with. So there's a lot of trust built. I'm very honest with them. I'm not just throwing it out to 30 lenders, which sounds like maybe the right thing to do, but it's where residential, it's more automated based. On commercial, it's manual. You have to reach out individually to the lenders. The relationship does matter in what you're able to do and what you know. And then two, like I am very straightforward and honest. I had lived in the last, literally actually today, 2 customers. One, I advised him to go the residential mortgage route because it was just better for him and didn't push to go in a direction that was beneficial to me. And I did that on I'm working on a $8.5 million hotel deal. They're working on a deal for a refinance $1.5 million. He said, let me bring that over to you. But where he was at in the process and where we're at in our process, it didn't make sense to bring it over to me. It was more beneficial to just keep it where he was at.
Right.
So I could have easily said, yeah, let's do it all together. It makes sense. Yeah. And then I'll also be blunt with you. You're doing an investment property. I'm going to tell you if you do what you want to do, but based on what you're trying to do, I'll be honest with you. If it's one, it will work for a lender. And two, if it really makes sense for what you're trying to do, because I'll run the numbers, I'll go over what you need. So I'm not going to do it just to benefit.
So you have your client's best interest at heart.
Yeah.
It sounds like. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. That's huge.
Yeah, and the thread that's going through this all the time is the relationship.
The network.
Whenever an agent comes to me and they're having usually a wrinkle in the deal or a speed bump in the deal, first question I always ask, who's the other agent? I want to know who the people are.
Yeah.
I don't want to know the name of the company.
Yep.
Because a lot of times I'll know that person.
Yeah.
Maybe I could pick up the phone and intercede or something like that. Yeah. But it's all predicated on relationships in both sides of our business.
Yeah.
Crucial. It's the X factor.
It is.
And I think I bring more to the table than the average guy because I'm old and I have a lot of relationships.
You know a lot of people.
And I know more people than you do, but you know different people than I do.
Yep.
And between the two of us, we probably have the right relationship.
Exactly.
And you know different people that we won't ever come into contact with. That's a crucial piece of the equation.
Yeah.
And we don't want to ever underplay that.
No.
Well, and separate from just the relationship, you go to one lender, the banker you deal with matters. So it ties into relationship, but just because I have a good relationship with somebody, they may not get done what you need.
That's
so
right.
The banker, no matter, especially on the commercial side, because it's so manually based, and you're waiting on certain things. Because if on commercial, a banker goes on vacation,
residential. Right?
On commercial.
Yeah, commercial. Okay.
A banker goes on vacation, it's halted.
Yeah, nothing's
There's
happening.
Nothing.
Yeah.
There's not much being. So the banker you deal with makes a huge difference because honestly, many of them do not want to put in the work, especially depending on size of the deal. And you know what bankers are going to put certain work into it, certain underwriting. You know what you're getting back means something and they're going to actually do it. So the banker is huge in commercial banking. Not the bank matters, but the banker, I would actually say
the guy himself. That's the one.
Is more important than the actual bank itself.
And their knowledge of how to, face challenges, get over them, right? Yeah, because there's, like you said, every deal there's something that pops up. So if you don't have the experience and the know-how that it's already happened to you before and how to get around it without causing a explosion or the deal to fall apart.
And what's one of the interesting parts about our business is, again, it's relationship based. We see people attracting other agents or other lenders try to attract lenders to their bank, whatever. It's not because they like them because they're good drinking buddies. They try to attract them because they want to take that person's relationships and make them their relationships. Now they're our relationships. Because that's where the money is. It's in the relationship.
Absolutely.
It's everything. So, special programs. Any kind of special programs out there?
Special programs.
Free money. Any free money?
No, unfortunately, no free
rates.
money.
Are the rates higher?
Are the what?
Rates, commercial rates higher?
They're in line.
Yep.
And it depends. In some cases now, on a certain deal, certain borrower, certain price range, it can be lower. But they're probably in line with residential investment. Where are residential?
We're under 7.
Yeah.
So I can get, in some cases, market for commercial is probably 7. That's probably market rate.
But the term is less.
The term is less.
Yep.
Amortization is usually 20 to 25 years. Term is usually 5 to 10 years.
And then pop, the balloon goes.
Yeah. So, but there are certain so talk about products. I have a lender I work with where it can be a 25-year term and the rate just resets every 5 years.
Oh.
But you
To
have
the
a
current market
25-year
rate?
term.
To that current market
To
rate.
that
Yeah.
market rate
Market
based
rate.
on on the rate at that time.
Back
But-
in the 90s, the big concern about residential real estate was it was going to go that route. Because
Oh,
that's the way they do it in Europe.
okay.
Everyone has 5-year terms on their mortgages, and,
But
they recast them.
Wow.
But I have a lender I work with where I can get below 6% right now.
Really?
Mhm.
And that's fixed?
Fixed.
Wow.
Around 6.25, fixed up to 10 years. And if it's a really good deal, depending on the lender, I can get 6.5 or below. So
Wow.
it's there are some really good rates in commercial. And typically, I try to say I can typically get about a half of a point, sometimes more below what the market rate is.
Wow. That's great.
And so that's where, on top of just making sure a deal gets done or doing it the right way.
Yeah, you want to get it done well.
Well, yep. Right.
So in terms of products, I can do larger acquisitions. I can do larger working capital lines of credit. When I mean larger, like million plus. And I'm doing some SBA deals now through 504, which in some cases is 10% down if it's owner occupied.
Okay.
So those are deals. So I have 3 like that I'm working on. I can do portfolio loans. It could be commercial or investment properties. And I can do second lien, loan or line if there's enough equity in the properties. And the lender doesn't have to be the first lien.
Okay.
And I can do rehab on commercial. So if it's a commercial deal and it needs rehab to permanent, can do that.
That's great.
So those are few, but there's many others besides just the traditional, straightforward commercial or investment deal.
How would you describe the commercial market in general, just in Western New York, and maybe specifically downtown Buffalo, in 3 or 4 words or less? Give you some clues. The work of the devil. Let's kill ourselves now. It's a wonderful opportunity. Oh my God, Boomtown is just around the corner. Where's my wallet? Let me buy it. What do you
Or a
think?
mix
Well,
of
are we
all.
talking about commercial buildings?
It's commercial.
We got a lot of
lending.
buildings downtown, a lot of office space. What?
Mhm.
Commercial buildings are rough.
We're telling the truth here, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
there's
Full
not-
disclosure.
There's just those opportunities don't come about a lot. At least I see at least a lot more development than I do straight commercial buildings. And then also,
Do you see conversions, like they're going to convert some of those things to residential?
see some conversions or mixed use
Yep.
has become popular. And then even on the investment side of things, on like even larger investment properties, I would say, personally, I think it's the opportunities, the good opportunities have slowed in terms of you're just looking for that good deal.
That's what I've
The
found.
prices have and if you're talking about like the 10+ unit, the cash flow is not where it should be because a lot of realtors are basing it off, I think, on the smaller investment properties and taking it into
Trying to use
the
that
larger,
to
but they're still
confidence.
there because I have a ton of customers. I have a lot of customers, but it's harder to find those larger investment, those 8 to 10+ unit properties are few and far between.
I'm finding that as well.
If you want cash flow, Niagara County is
A great opportunity.
the opportunity.
Yep, I've been
for
saying
cash-
that. No
is
one
the
believes me.
opportunity
Yep.
for cash flow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Niagara Falls.
Absolutely.
That's tough, and you
Yeah.
need to know kind of where
where
you're
you're going.
going,
No place to go but up.
Yeah.
because even if there's not appreciate, if you think it's just going to stay even,
Mhm.
you're going to get decent cash flow.
Wow.
But you also have the opportunity for appreciation. Hopefully,
Yeah.
they do
Whenever the city
do
turns around.
something.
Wow,
They have
that's all.
slowly.
That's
They
all
have
other
done a
thing.
little bit, but
It's been up and coming for a long time.
I've been
So-
coming since
but
I've been here.
even
I've been
if
here
it stays
40 years.
even, your cash flow wise, that's where you're going to look, and then you have the potential for decent appreciation.
Okay, so first of all, final stages of the descent pattern. How do people get a hold of Michael Anderson? Not the ice cream people, but the wonderful thing if it was. How do they get a hold of you at MJ Capital Resources?
Yeah, I mean, I'll give some free ice cream.
Yeah.
My best way is my phone number, 716-348-7232, or you can go to my website, mjcapitalresources.com.
Great. Thanks for coming, Mike.
That's it.
Please like, follow, subscribe. Tune in to the next show. Let us know if you have any questions you want us to address on the show.
And I'm Brendan Cunningham, the real estate doctor here at EXP. And like Matt
Thank you.
says, ditto.
Thank you.